Hello. The subject of this lesson is the IMSIs, which are the identification that is used by the mobile networks. The IMSI is a number that's written on the SIM card. So we have the SIM card with the chip on it, and inside the chip we have the information that is used by the network to identify, authenticate the subscriber in the radio access network. The card has something called the ICC ID, which is the identifier of the chip itself, and is typically not changeable. And it has an identifier called IMSI, International Mobile Subscriber Identifier, which is normally fixed, but it doesn't have to be. This IMSI is a string of numbers. It starts with 5 or 6 numbers, which are the mobile country code, then the mobile network code, and then other digits that are assigned by some authority. So the MCC has always 3 digits, the MNC has 2 or 3 digits, and in the end we have everything has 15 digits typically. This is the technical realization of the identification of the subscriber. So whenever the subscriber attaches, the device of the subscriber attaches, it is first identified by the IMSI, not by the phone number. In many cases, the phone doesn't know its own number. So it's important to know this because an MVNO needs, since it issues SIMs, needs to have a range of IMSIs. Where does an MVNO take those IMSIs? It can be registered in some national authority or something, so the country will be the country of origin, and they will be assigned an MNC that is specific for them. So let's say if MCC is 001, which happens to be a test country, then let's say somebody assigns an MNC of 50. So all IMSIs will start with 00150, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Another possibility is to just take a sub-range from one existing mobile network operator or virtual network operator which already has, for example, 00150, and let's say I am another operator which gets assigned from here 0 to 5. So all my SIMs would start with 00150, So I'll have less digits, but still enough to assign to my subscribers. There is also the possibility to have a foreign IMSI, one that has a different mobile country code. And that happens if you have a relation with another mobile operator from another country, and that it's known as the donor. So it donates a sub-range from its own MCC, MNC for somebody else to use. This happens frequently in the case of SIMs which have multiple IMSIs. A SIM at one point can have one IMSI, but it can have a second one, which is passive, a third one, a fourth one, and so on. At any time, only one is active, but there are ways to change the IMSI inside the SIM. Either the SIM has autonomous capabilities, it can be a Java card, or the network can order it via over-the-air interface to change the IMSI. In this case, the identity changes and everything restarts and it attaches to another network, because the selection of the network is determined by the prefix of the SIM. It is important to know that an operator that has just a sub-range cannot be filtered by the visitor networks that have no idea. They can filter only by this part. So there are some restrictions what an operator that uses a sub-range can do, and those restrictions are more stringent when using the diameter protocol, because diameter actually uses those values and only those for routing, and the IMSI itself is somewhere deep. So having its own MCC and MNC, it's valuable for a mobile virtual network operator because it provides more flexibility, and such a full MVNO can do all kinds of roaming agreements that are not possible or limited for operators that just use sub-range of IMSIs. Of course, there are cases when both ways are combined. If you have, for example, a main IMSI that's owned by the MVNO and also has some IMSIs taken from foreign donors. That's all. Thank you.